In a landmark decision, the European Union Parliament takes a resolute stand against the persecution of the spiritual practice Falun Gong in China. Now, this comes after the heartfelt appeal of a practitioner for the release of his father, who's been abducted and condemned by the Chinese Communist Party. NTD's France correspondent David Vives has the story.
EU Parliament voting today on a resolution urging China to end the persecution of practitioners of Falun Gong. Falun Gong is a spiritual practice based on physical exercises and a moral teaching emphasizing principles of truthfulness, compassion, tolerance, has faced persecution for over 24 years in China. The EU resolution follows Le Bin Ding's outreach to the EU Commission and Parliament, where he reported his father's plight. Ding's father, a tea farmer near the Chinese port city of Rizhao, was abducted and convicted for practicing Falun Gong. EU Parliament member Michael Gehler answers Le Bin's call. The European Parliament, recognizing the gravity of the situation, engaged in a cross-party resolution debate to address the persecution of Falun Gong, including the case of Yuan De Ding.
Today we focus on the Falun Gong practitioners. We demand an end to the prosecution and the harassment. We demand an immediate and unconditional release of all Falun Gong practitioners.
Gehler is asking for personal sanctions on all people involved in the persecution.
We demand, for instance, not to issue visa to them. And if some of them has any accounts abroad, they should be seized.
For Slovakia Parliament member Miriam Lexman, the suffering and persecution of Falun Gong members is emblematic of the CCP's tyranny.
It's absolutely unacceptable that these people are persecuted just because they want to practice Falun Gong. They are tortured. The behavior of the Chinese Communist Party towards its own citizens is unacceptable.
Ding Le Bin believes this is a big step forward for the release of his father and at least 70 other Falun Gong practitioners who are facing a similar fate.
I want to please you to continue take efforts in engaging, ending the forced organ harvesting of Falun Gong practitioners and the whole generation in general, because the persecution of Falun Gong practitioners is really a crime against humanity.
Gehler is committing to forwarding Le Bin's plea for help to the EU Commissioner and pushing for concrete action against the Chinese regime. David Vives, NTD News, Paris.